Welcome back to DaddeeCraft. It is episode 56. If you're keeping track of how many we have done, you do not have to watch these in order. This is the world we've been in for about 3 years now. We are trying to work on the Creeper Tower, which is a combination of 3 farms. One of them is done and successful, which is the Cactus Farm. The other we need to work on is the actual Creeper Tower, but we're waiting for the 119 update to see what happens with spawning rules in terms of that. And also we have a skeleton spawner in the basement that we are working on. That has brought us into the testing grounds, which is an area that we have started working on. I didn't really intend to build this place up, but I keep coming out here and it ends up being nighttime and I need some place to sleep. I replaced the floor with something a little more fitting for our orange crayon. I didn't want to lean on acacia because I seem to build out of it exclusively, but here we are. I love it. Go with what you love, right? It's a game. Why would I deny myself some acacia wood? I do love the combination of acacia and the birch, the stripped birch, and I'm digging it with the honey, and we've got our honey elevator here, so it's a much better build so far, and I'm really starting to like this area between Cat Village and Eskeltown. This is the testing grounds. It's our new land. I'm going to fill it up with just little inventions and things I'm going to try to work on before inserting them into bigger things, or if I'm having trouble like we are here, then we're going to come here and we're going to work things out before we proceed. The other thing I wanted to show you really quick, besides the fact that I've been throwing in these lights and lanterns, is I installed a slime pad landing zone with yellow carpet to keep the yellow and orange theme going here for our crayon nub. And I hid away the beds and the storage and the work stations a little more cleverly. I also want to actually take one of these flat window walls and install a tropical fish tank that jets out a little bit. So have a giant window that's also a fish tank. And then I have some ideas for if we have a second, third, or a fourth floor. I'm down here. I was just down here lighting up this cave here, these little pre-118 caves, and I found a zombie spawner right here. The first time I found a zombie spawner, I went to pick it up because I had silk touch, and I was like, oh, well, I have silk touch, I should be able to pick this up, and that didn't work out too well for me. But now we have a zombie spawner right here in case we need zombies for any reason. I already captured a few zombies, and we have a house that's housing them. We actually have a little zombie house that's completely blacked out. But now I guess we don't, once I set this up, we won't have to have that anymore. I'll have zombies at the ready whenever I want. Although you can pretty much just, wait till nightfall, right? And you're going to get a zombie. Just put a boat down. I was lighting up the cave a little further down that way. We were coming this way, and we found another spawner right here. Which one's this? This is a skeleton spawner. So we found one zombie and one skeleton spawner. I don't think these are close enough to each other for them to be on at the same time. I don't think it's a double spawner situation. But it's interesting to find them because they've been sitting underneath us for a while. This is underneath, again, this is underneath the desert area. This is underneath the testing grounds. Well, I'm over in the testing grounds. I've been doing some work, terraforming, I guess, if you want to say, or landscaping is a better term. I've been lighting up the area and I've been landscaping it. I'll take you over and show you what the inspiration was in a second, but I thought it was interesting. See, when I first started terraforming the other side, terraforming Eskeltown over there, that's all covered in netherwart, I wanted the river to separate the savannah, which is now covered in soul sand, from the desert, and sometimes the savannah was creeping over into the desert, so I had to cover some of the savannah up with sand, and you can kind of see where I've done it in areas. But I forgot I did it. I guess I did a good enough job to trick myself. But I do like the way it looks when it rains in the desert, and you don't get to see it often. And I don't think it's all me. I think some of this area is legitimate desert that it's raining in. Because I swear I've been to areas where, so you can see areas where I kind of left a little bit of exposed rock there. That's where the savannah was that you can see the dirt over there. So I left a little bit of proof that I was there. I should come back with more sand. I think I ran out of sand at some point. But we've been taking sand from Cat Village. That's the area that we're kind of flattening out. I'm very slowly building another pyramid there to match the glass pyramid that I built here in Eskeltown. So that's a good source for sand. I wanted to keep this area right here, this testing grounds. It was, ironically enough, supposed to be the area that we dug out for sand and trashed. But as Eskeltown grew, the testing grounds has kind of, like I said, unintentionally become visible. So it's nice to have a house in front of my concrete strip there that I was testing. Let's go upstairs and maybe we can get a better view. Nope, not this way. Over here, yeah. And then you can see, I want it to stretch out for a while. I want it to be a forest. And I think the more trees, the more chorus fruit, the better. And then you can barely see our nub of a cran there, but we're going to build that up and make that taller. I had an idea, instead of having a fish tank jet out or stick out or interrupt one of the floors, I was going to put a second floor on anyway. I was thinking about 4 floors, and you have a honey elevator on each of the angled sides that take you up to each floor, and each floor will have its own centered entrance and exit. And then between each floor, because they're glass ceilings, we can have, I'm trying to get up to the tower. Let's see if I can, nope. Okay, up, now we're getting attacked. I'm just gonna let him nibble on my toes until, there we go. We're back where we started. Okay, what if I do the same thing, just get really up close and throw one, I don't want to throw it over. Right here. It's our lost pearl. I hope it makes, I think we're good. Are we good? Yeah, we're on top. Excellent. What was I saying? Oh, I have more pearls. I was wondering how I was going to get down. See if we can get a good view here. Yeah, so we could make 4 floors and have a tropical fish tank between each floor. But I want the lights and the chorus fruit trees to just kind of trail out into the distance when you're up here looking over it. And then maybe I need to find a better way to get up here, because I don't want to rely on Electra anymore. I keep losing mine, and I don't like dying and losing the Electra, because it's the one thing that's really hard to get more of. And it really burns me every time I lose one and I can't get, every time I die, of course, I'm nowhere near
or I just can't find it once I lose it. But yeah, so this is the testing grounds has kind of grown into its own project. But I'm okay with that. I'm gonna take my time. I'm not gonna rush the creeper tower. And I mean, I still want to make it a priority, but I don't know. I'm getting kind of sick of focusing on Eskeltown. I've always liked to branch out and do other things, and it makes a lot of sense to work on the scenery to Eskeltown while I'm working on Eskeltown. And this way, kind of, when I do work on one side, it complements itself on the other, so I can slowly transition into. I was going to transition into desert city, Cat Village anyway, but this way we can kind of, it makes more sense. We can just transition into the testing grounds and work on that, which we kind of have been doing. I mean, my whole goal is to just have this be forest that's lit up, so it's safe at night and it looks better than it did look. And I love the look of in the desert having the chorus. I don't know what these things are called. The chorus fruit trees. That's what I'm calling them for now. But I do love the look. It needs to be more dense. And I just want to have it kind of spread back into Cat Village, and that's where it can stop. And Cat Village is an interesting place too, because Cat Village is its own kind of testing grounds, but it's not like a testing grounds for contraptions. It's more of a testing grounds for art buildings. We have our Enderman face there, but we do have, the concrete makers there. So, and I was going to put farms in Cat Village eventually. It was going to be a home for farms. So, but I also wanted it to be a home for pixel art. I wanted that to be the place to start experimenting with like pixel art and things like that. So we'll have kind of a contraption testing area maybe that leads into a testing area for more artsy things. So that's where I'm working on the next pyramid, and that's kind of an experimental pyramid too. So yeah. And then that Cat Village leads into Spawn. And that's the next kind of areas I wanted to work on. And then that will probably lead us into, as long as I don't end up making another city out of nowhere, that will lead us into the Nether. I'm not really sure I'm going to follow, I don't know how to separate the chapters, because I was going to do chapter 3 focusing on Eskeltown, but here we are making a whole nother village in chapter 3. It's finally nighttime, so I can show you how the light looks at night through the windows, because I'm still too scared to go outside. I think it's safer out there, but there are still zombies and creepers out there. I needed to bring some sand over, because when a creeper blows up out here, it creates one giant divot. It's kind of comical because they blow up on the boardwalk and there's, one block to replace, as long as you're not near a building. But they blow up out here and there's this giant divot, like God just took the worst golf shot imaginable. And you've got like 2 stacks of sand you've got to bring in to fill the gap. So I've been slowly trying to bring in some supplies here, and that's kind of been what I've been doing, is just trying to finish out the area so it's lit up and safe so I can work through the night. And then also I wanted to spread the chorus fruit, but I ran out of chorus fruit. So I've been walking around and shooting the chorus fruit with arrows, because I don't have a farm, a chorus fruit farm. I intended to have a chorus fruit farm. That is the inspiration for this whole forest, actually. And here, let me take you over to that, and I'll show you that now. Okay, it is morning, and we are ready to go over. I can show you the inspiration for this whole new project. And basically, I've been staring at it for over a year in the background, and I've loved the way it looks. And I was waiting to do this. This has always been on my mind as something to do. I was waiting to finish the farm that I'm going to take you over that started the whole thing, but I don't think I'm ever going to finish that farm without hanging out here more, and I'm not going to hang out here more until I finish the place and make it look better. So I do want, it is going to look great when it, oh, by the way, I wanted to show you, I did all that cactus back there. I put all that up. That is the start of Cat Village, and if you look to your right, my left, you can see a little yellow dot sticking up there at the top of the hill, and that's the first house of Cat Village. So that's where Cat Village starts. So the testing grounds are going to stretch out to that mound of cactus there, and that's where Cat Village starts. And then I want chorus fruit trees just stretching as far as the eye can see, and I want them to be really thick here. And then I want the lights to just be lighting them up. And the one thing I do regret about all the chorus fruit is you can't see the red glow of the ground there as clear. But I'm hoping that once we build our cran up here, that on the second, third, or fourth floor, you'll be able to see the red glow and the trees, and everything will look nice together. So I'm going for a penthouse view look. Let's go over. It's going to be a couple of ender pearl throws to get there. Let me catch my bearings. I think it's over this way more. Yeah, it's right over there. This is the farm. Oh. How do I get up here? See, it's raining over here too. I don't remember terraforming all of this, but it's raining over here, and this is desert. Or it looks like it was. Maybe I did terraform all of this. Maybe I am that crazy. That's where the water buckets go. And that's how you wash all of the plants down before you replant them. But up here, this is stage one, and this is where I'm kind of stuck. I was trying to figure out the distance and the setup to get arrows shooting out to hit the chorus fruit plants, and you kind of need a wall. This is inspired by something Cub did in an early season of Hermitcraft. I think it was season 5 or season 6 that I saw him do this in. Yeah, I don't want to fall again. It's pretty high up here. But I saw him, he had a line of arrows shooting out at a wall of chorus fruit in the distance. And the look of it all was just magnificent. So I wanted to recreate that over here in the corner. And what happened was I planted all the chorus fruit so I'd have a target to aim at, and I was working on distances and where to put the wall, where to start the wall of arrows and how to build that. And it's so interesting that it's raining here. I did not terraform all of that. That is so far away from Eskeltown. Why would I come over here and terraform all of this? But I didn't think it was supposed to rain in the desert, but here we are. Anyway, oh, we need some arrows. I only need one. We've picked up a few from the skeletons I've killed. So anyway, you're supposed to have a wall of these, and you fire the arrows down, and in theory they rain down. You have so many that they rain down and they hit all the chorus fruit plants. And then you go down there and you hit the water dispensers, and that both collects the chorus fruit that you can replant, but it also breaks the plants and collects the chorus fruit itself that you can use either to eat or to you can cook up and use it for blocks, for purple blocks. Oh, and I wanted to get up here again. Yep. So, and then you would go ahead and you would, use the dispensers to wash everything out. But I never got to finishing this farm, but in the background, these all grew up, and they just looked so pretty in the background that I had decided I wanted the desert area surrounding Eskeltown to be a forest full of chorus fruit trees. So that's how this all got started, and that's how the testing grounds area. That's how the testing grounds area ended up the way it is. That's the whole inspiration for it. I do like it. The only thing I don't like is that you lose the clear view of that beautiful red that you get from the wash of nether wart. So we're going to walk back now, and I'm not going to use ender pearls because I do like walking around and seeing the view. See, look, it's raining over here. I did not terraform way over here. It just rains in the desert, and I do miss the render distance. I miss seeing the buildings in the background. It's the one thing I don't like about, well, I really don't like 118 that much because I'm not really a fan of the caves or the render distance so far. I haven't been wowed by it. I would have rather have kept the render distance the way it was than to have traded it for the caves and cliffs updates. I just haven't been impressed with it. I've been sticking to Eskeltown and the stuff we've made. I haven't really used any of the additions. Copper is about the only thing I've used. I've used it for lightning rods, and I do have a looking glass that I keep forgetting about in my inventory. If I remember, I'll use it more for episodes, but I never really use it as a player.
Power off.
I never really use it as a player, so. But in terms of what I want to do in the future, I do want to eventually finish the farms in the Creeper Tower, but working with mobs is really hard, and I'm having a lot more fun terraforming the testing grounds. So I might take a break from the Creeper Tower, and I might work more on the testing grounds, just making this area more hospitable, and maybe moving into a little bit, maybe building up the cran and making it taller so I can see. Let's get rid of this music. I feel like I'm part of the Wonder Years when that piano track starts kicking in. Building up the testing grounds is kind of more exciting to me. Even doing the lighting around Eskeltown, I did more. You can see I added more lights on both sides of the river here. But building that up, adding more lights, and working on the river is more exciting to me than struggling with the creeper farm. I'm waiting till 119 until the creeper farm can work. I know I can work on the elevator in the meantime for the skeleton spawner. And that's something that I do want to work on. I'm going to work on that over here more, but it's not something that I'm super inspired about now. I've hit my head against the wall so many times with that I'm kind of enjoying creating a whole new space. And this is kind of something I enjoy doing. I enjoyed adding the nether wart to the savannah and making Eskeltown its own biome. And I'm enjoying adding the chorus fruit to the desert here in the testing grounds and making it its own biome. It's kind of a lot of fun to me. I don't know what else to add to add even more diversity here. It's kind of impressive to me, and I love the way that the stone, the end stone, just kind of blends in with the sand anyway. I'll bring you up here. We can take one more look. This is the beginning of Cat Village, and we can just look over at the beginnings. This must be when you're a neighbor and a new development comes in after you've had imagine living out here on the prairie for 100 years and your family's just enjoyed the peace and quiet of it, and all of a sudden here comes this new complex, and it's bright orange and it's big, and then you've got all this light pollution all of a sudden that you're not used to, and you have to share your desert, and all of a sudden, and the highways come through and you don't have your desert anymore. This must be the feeling of incoming civilization. And yeah, you get the Walmart down the street, right? But eventually you have to pay for the Walmart down the street with this. And they're encroaching on your cactus farm with their light pollution and their chorus fruit trees. And I think there's a war that's about to start between the testing grounds and Cat Village. We can get all uppity and Karen-like. We can complain about how the testing grounds is leaving their trash out. And they're leaving they can't even tarp up or cover up their tests and their experiments. Why do they have to look so dirty down there? We're all nice and clean up here with our flags and our lights and our yellow. We blend into the hillside so nice. Okay, well, that is going to be it for this episode. I guess I'm not going to be working on Eskeltown exclusively for Chapter 3. I will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.